Go ahead and hum. That is usually dropped into like the cannula, and that's the strip of it.
You can see that I'm with my injector, Rochelle Dela Paz. We're at Skincare by Amy Peterson. And today we're addressing something that you guys have pointed out for years. And I've been like, you're wrong. Turns out you might be right. A lot of people have pointed out that I get these almost like dimpling right here in my cheeks. I get these ones too. These are real dimples because my mom has them also. But I've got these little kind of like pockets right here when I smile, and I've had them for years. I have dissolved my filler that I got in my tear trough area of my cheeks. I dissolved it twice a few years ago. I've talked about this online, and I thought I was done with HA filler in my cheek area, my tear trough area. And then the other day I was with Rochelle, and you want to tell them what you told me?
I was like, let's just ultrasound it for fun. And then we have this Fremitus filler identification technique that we found some left over.
She was like, I think you still have filler in there. She's like, I've been looking at your videos.
I did say that.
I've been looking at your videos.
And I've been like, what's this? I was like, next time she's in, I'm going to ultrasound it and we're going to look at it.
Well, and what was your thought behind it? Because you said something like...
Animation deformation when you smile is a thing. Whenever there's a certain higher, thicker filler, if you will, that is in a superficial zone where the fat lives, whenever she smiles, it will pop up. So that's what animation deformation means.
I was like, I dissolved it twice. This is years ago. I think when I did tear trough filler, because we'd probably say that's from tear trough filler. Is that what?
Or it could be cheek.
It could be cheek?
Yeah.
I said, that was years ago, maybe almost a decade ago. And she's like...
Now we're seeing with studies that HA filler has lasted a lot longer than what FDA has stamped on the box.
So here we go. We're going to do something about it today, right? What are we going to do? Ultrasound. We're going to show all of you what she's talking about with an ultrasound.
And then your dreaded thing, the dissolving process.
Yeah. And we're going to see over the next week or two if this goes away, right?
Yep. Cool.
Let's do it.
So with our beautiful patient, we're going to assess, and I'm going to probably even mark out areas that I just want to check. Since she has a history of having cheek filler and tear trough filler, we are going to just find the common areas where filler has relocated or have kind of ended up over these years. So we're going to mark this side here. I'm still going to check her malar area because that is an area where over time it can end up. So highlight right here. This side's not as prominent, and we'll check it right here too.
After dissolving twice, I felt like that was a lot, dissolving twice. We went deep with it too. He got the cannula and really was in there trying to dissolve everything.
Sure.
What makes it last even after all that twice?
So there's different types of, call it reconstruction of the hyaluronic acid fillers that are on the market, and some have a firmer hold on itself. It's harder to dissolve, if you will. So just depending on what was put in there, it can be harder to break down. Some of them are a lot easier to break down than others. There's also a potential for a shell to happen around. It's either granuloma, it can happen around the area, or just kind of like a protective covering over some of it. Okay.
You were saying that we have a fat pad right here, and that's what you suspect. It's what, under the fat pad or in the fat pad, or what was it that's making it, why would having old filler in there make me have these kinds of lumps?
So you've got your skin layer, you have your dermal layer, then you have your fat pads, right? In between the dermal layer and the fat layer, if the filler is in that region, which normally fat is very buoyant and it moves with you. You have a gel that's been sitting there and doesn't have a whole lot of movement depending on what was put in there. You're gonna have an animation deformation with smiling. So first, we're gonna just kind of scan the area. And then when I find something that I feel is peekabooing at me, I'll throw on power, mode, and then I'm gonna have you hum for me. Okay. With the FIT test, which is the Fremitus filler identification test, when we have you hum, the sound transmit through normal tissue other than bone, and then in the areas where hyaluronic acid filler is still left, you're gonna have these black little areas. So this is the sound transmitting through the tissue.
The golden part is the sound?
The sound, yeah. And then this is in power mode. And then so these little areas left, especially this probably a cannula, like when they're like
laying it like that?
Yeah. That's actually
so all those little black like lakes basically.
Yeah, pretty much. So we'll save that image.
Filler?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
We might have just dissolved the tear trough area. So now we're going to take a look at that area, okay? Go ahead and hum for me. Let's do a little bit left. I'm going to check a little bit lower and higher. Hum for me. Yep. Go ahead and hum for me. Okay. I was looking at this patch because when I'm scrolling and I'm looking for it, when I see something peek in and out of the view, then I go back to that and then we have the hum. And then that's the point where we figure out if that sound is going to transmit through. Bite for me. Go. Okay, that's for masseter muscle. Okay, relax. So you get skin, dermis, then subcutaneous fat, which the fat is going to look like the blobs of filler, but watch when we go ahead and hum for me. It pretty much is pretty clean. Like it goes all the way up. The normal goes all the way up to your epidermis. Yeah. So like you might have like little remnants, but it's essentially pretty.
Yeah, that was
clean.
Way clearer. Yeah.
So I'm gonna save this image, but as far as when she hums and it's all normal tissue and it's her and there's no blockage of gel, then that sound is going to transmit all the way up to the epidermis. As far as this area, there is significant amount of filler still left. So even though you might have a genetic malar area, it can accentuate that. So we're going to help soften that.
When we dissolve it, one, is it going to hurt? I've dissolved it. It's been a while. So remind me, does it hurt?
I'm going to do a little numb shot because I really want to go in there with a needle instead, because if there is a capsule, which is that little shell that we talked about, I'll actually be able to break through with the needle.
And then am I going to look like Skeletor basically after you dissolve it?
They're going to be
pretty flat right there for a while?
Until you come see me and we'll do
Okay. Because hyaluronidase breaks down your own hyaluronic acid too, right?
But you start remaking your own HA in about 48 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
So sometimes you're like a little bit drier right after dissolving because it doesn't discriminate between your own and the gel.
Mm-hmm.
So your skin can feel a little like,
This is where I'm getting dissolved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recommend it, guys. She's gonna take care of me, and I'm excited for this, but I'm sad about it too.
So I'm cleaning off her face first with hypochlorous acid, and then this is gonna be her numb shot. So when I go in with the needle, that she doesn't feel as much. This does have a little bit of a quick burn.
It's a little acidic. And I'm also, if you guys hear like a humming, it's because I'm squeezing this vibrator to distract me.
Yes. Still that from pediatrics.
That was a quick burn. I'm good.
Yeah. Go ahead and hum for me. This part you shouldn't really feel. Mm-hmm. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to go in through the tissue. There's markers on the ultrasound that can kind of give you the depth of it. So I'm actually injecting as I'm going through and as I'm coming off or out. So as you can see, this is very attracted to the gel. So it's puffing up as we go. And so I do have a little bit of epinephrine and lidocaine in there, just so that way this little area where I keep going in and out of doesn't eat as much. All right, so now we're gonna show her something really cool.
Oh my God, my cheek looks big. Wow. So you're saying I have that much filler in there that the
it's attracted to it. And now we're going to mush. Do you kind of feel it collapse a little bit?
A little bit. I don't want to look.
Okay.
I don't want to put the sight of it and the feel of it together.
Okay. And then what we're going to end up doing is leaving this here for about 15 minutes when I go look at the other side, and then we'll re-ultrasound it again to see
if there's like still a lot left or something.
Yeah.
Because that was a lot more than I expected to see. Because I really thought
ultrasound-guided dissolving once upon a time.
I know. I just thought after dissolving twice, that shit should have been gone. The last 3 years, I was like, I don't have filler in my face.
So I'm just like manipulating the enzyme. Okay. And especially if it is one of like the harder ones to dissolve, then it may not be your only visit to me for this. But we're gonna at least see a difference. This side doesn't have as much. Do you notice that one of your cheeks was bigger than the other?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I can even feel that she doesn't have as much over here. Has a facialist ever told you, like, do you have filler on the side?
No, actually.
Sometimes they can identify it for you when you get a facial. Okay, a little pinch. All right, go ahead and hum. That is usually dropped in like a cannula, and that's the strip of it. We're just looking at the depth of it.
Is that like almost like capsular contracture when you get breast implants?
Yeah, similar.
Like your body's kind of creating scar tissue around it?
Did you feel that one?
A little bit, yeah. That side is the side that after my second pregnancy, I was like looking in the mirror and I was like, that was like what caused me to want to go dissolve, was I felt lumpy looking. I was like, this is making me look older.
So right now I'm gonna go back in and we're gonna kind of check how things have dissolved. Go ahead and hum for me. Still have a little bit left. Go ahead and hum for me. Still have a bit on this side. Still a couple little strokes through. And go a little bit deeper too. Okay. So I'm hoping to transect through some of that. Go ahead and hum for me. So much better.
Really?
So much better.
I'm starting to get some yellow rising up.
Yeah.
We want
That's
the gold.
the tear trough area. We do, it looks like it's starting to like be a little bit less dark. So those earlier were a lot more black. So it's like breaking down, but it's not quite.
Oh, and so we have to put more? Is that we put more or what? What happens?
I don't like to flood too much all at once, maybe because I also like your skin to kind of bounce back. And I don't necessarily want someone to like be like, oh my God, I'm so deflated, you know?
Right.
I kind of stair step you guys. It's also getting you used to like flattening out a little bit.
Flattening out. No, thank you. I know. My own actual hyaluronic acid will start to recreate itself over the next 48 hours.
Yeah.
Regenerate.
Exactly.
Still scary to be flattened out for a couple of days. It feels fine. That was not actually very painful. It's always the numbing shot that hurts the most. And it's just like a quick sting and then it goes right away. So what happens now, Rochelle?
Well, we are going to see her back next week and we're going to take a look at it and we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Give her the good 24, 48 hours of the enzyme would keep working. And then
should I be able to start seeing that this is softening though when I smile in the next 48 hours or so? So we'll look
and then we'll also, I want you to kind of, there's a ligament there. There's going to be an area that you're going to notice is going to change. And then there's also going to be an area that you might notice it is a little bit more apparent. So we have ligaments that are attached to the skin right here. So sometimes whenever I dissolve people's like tear trough or their cheek filler, they end up going, but this is here. Well, that's your normal anatomy. There is an attachment from the base of the bone to the skin.
What's funny
Right
is my
there.
cheeks look great right now, though.
Oh, I know, because of the
They're
salt.
nice and filled.
I know.
Okay, so it's been a few hours since I saw Rochelle, and she started to dissolve my old filler that's been sitting there for years. And I just want to show you what it looks like. I hadn't looked in the mirror for that entire time. As soon as I got home, I started doing some work and was at my computer. And then I started noticing that my cheek felt a little warm. So I went to look in the mirror. And on this side, it looks like I got punched in the face. This is where she had to go in 2 times to really dissolve it. And she still thinks there's going to be more to dissolve, by the way. Not too bad. I'm still a little bit swollen. I don't think I see a huge difference here. She reminded me I do have actual ligaments there. So this is where it's at. And I'll check in probably in like 48 hours or so. Maybe a little longer just to really give it some time. And we'll see how my smile is looking. It feels a little bit more natural to smile though. For now, I have to look like I got punched in the face. Okay, I am 2 weeks out from dissolving my filler, re-dissolving. So this is the 3rd time I have dissolved because Rochelle said and showed us in the ultrasound that there was more in there. I just want to show you guys, this is how I look, because the first couple of days you just look swollen, and then a few days later you look like Skeletor because everything just kind of goes away. And then now I feel like my skin has evened out to where it's going to be. When I smile, you can see I still have the ligaments that are here. I have this dimple. Not as much on that side. And so I'm gonna probably go and see Rochelle and just check on how this is looking to her. I'll tell you that I feel like my face dropped slightly. Like I feel like my smile lines are a little bit more pronounced and my skin looks like not as smooth and tight as it usually does. It could be that my own hyaluronic acid still needs to kind of grow back as well. So I hate that process. I need a little more Botox too. But this is how it looks. 2 weeks later, natural anatomy, I still have this stuff. Now that we have further dissolved it, I think Rochelle will probably try to use Renuva to just soften everything in that area and get me refreshed looking again. Definitely don't want to do hyaluronic acid fillers in this area anymore. Obviously lips, fine, and wherever it's necessary. But I think for me, I'm going to stick with just the biostimulators like Renuva when it comes to the cheek. And I just don't really think I need anything in the tear trough area. There's a lot of sound and construction happening outside, so I'm just gonna wrap this video up. I thought it was really interesting, but I hope that this was a very enlightening video for you. I found it to be really interesting. I'm not sure if I saw a massive difference with dissolving for a 3rd time, but maybe you guys can tell me. But this is my anatomy too, so this is still gonna happen no matter what. I thought it was interesting. I hope you found it interesting. And if you have had hyaluronic acid fillers in the past and you feel like your face doesn't look right, maybe you wanna go check it out and just see if maybe dissolving it is the way to go for you and putting something else in. Hope this was helpful. Ask any questions you have in the comments below. You can find me on social media. I'm at Susan Yara. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.